show. You know how it goes. It's Keith Barnes and Jacob Bartley in the house. What is up, Keith?
Yeah, what's going on, man? How's it going?
Not much. Pretty good, man.
Friday
Pretty good.
Yes.
We got our loyal viewer, Star Drew. Damn it, 8:30ish. Hey, it's 8:30ish, right? You know. But Star Drew sent that in at. Star Drew sent that in at 7. So come on, Star Drew, you got to give us a little more time than that. I'm going to get Rachel here, and then look at this, Jacob. I'm sure you heard that Keith got around to see Punisher short. Did you finally watch the Punisher short?
I did. I finally watched Dirty Laundry, or whatever it was.
I feel like Star Drew has been getting you to watch that for like 5 years.
It's been a while. It's been a while. Me and Gio talked about it. Like 8 months ago or something crazy like that. So yeah, I finally watched it on Fandom United League, and for a short, it's well done. It couldn't have cost it. They must have done that for like $10,000. They just shot it right in that little alley. But the fights, it was good action for a little 10-minute Punisher short. It was all right. Yeah, it was okay.
Yeah, and it's is it Thomas Jane, right? Is the guy who played him in the first?
Yeah.
Well, I guess not the first, but the early 2000s Punisher movie.
Technically, yeah. But and what's crazy is because it came out, because Gio looked it up, it came out in 2010, which was around the time of Punisher Warzone.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Which is crazy, yeah.
So which was a different actor, yeah.
Yeah. So
interesting. Well, there you go, Star Drew. I hope that that was satisfying to hear Keith's thoughts on that. Gio Ramos. Oh, we might not only be seeing Gio in the comments tonight. We'll get to that here in a little bit here. Hey, Gio. And yes, Star Drew. Thank you. All righty. Well, we got, look, our show, we can do whatever we want on our show. It's our show. So today, this episode, this month, we're mainly going to focus on movies, fall movies that we've been watching. You've seen it in the title, in the tweets. We're going to talk Halloween Kills. We got a lot to say about that movie. We've talked about Dune and Eternals on Apocalypse. Apocalypse is our main movie YouTube channel that we do with our other buddies. You can go check that out on YouTube if you don't know what that is. But I'm sure if you're watching this here, you know what that is. But we're still going to, you can never talk about, you can never stop talking about a movie, in my opinion, even if it's good, even if it's bad, whatever the case is. So we're going to jump into those. And Keith, I'm sorry to disappoint you. I have not seen Last Night in Soho, so I think we're just going to have to get your non-spoiler thoughts. But I haven't even heard what you think of it, so we'll get to that here in a little bit. But first, I scheduled our show, our next episode, on the day that is also Disney Plus Day. So that's why we don't have our normal thousands of viewers, because they're all focused on Disney Plus stuff right now. But obviously I'm joking. We got our loyal 2 viewers watching. But thanks to our buddy Gio Ramos, we were able to gather some news topics from Disney Plus Day and a couple of the major things here. So Gio is actually going to join us today. We'll bring him in here in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 seconds. There we go. Hey, Gio, how's it going, man?
Hey, what's going on, guys? Happy Friday. Thanks for having me on Bartley and Barnes. I'm good. It's been it's been a very eventful day for reasons you just stated. So lots to get into.
Yes, there's some cool stuff to talk about with Disney Plus Day. And we're going to get into it. Maybe a couple other news topics lingering around in the movie news world. Gio is our movie news correspondent until we replace him with somebody else. But Gio, what do you got for us today, man?
Well, it was a busy day for Disney, obviously. This year was a little bit weird because there was no dedicated channel to watch videos and see announcements and whatnot. Everything was happening on social media, mainly the Twitter page, the Instagram page, and I think the Facebook page for Disney. So it was a weird rollout. They were cracking down on YouTube channels for showing footage and whatnot. But
I was gonna say you were trying to go live, right? Sorry,
I did go live. and the stream
go
cut
live? Okay.
because of the copyright material. I guess
Yeah.
I showed it too soon, and then my internet just cut out. So,
So, Gio, can you're more plugged into this stuff right now than Keith and I are. So, was it broadcasting somewhere, and you can only watch it there?
No, they just on their social media pages, they just released it like post by post, and the post either had a video or there was a link to sign in on Disney Plus. It's on Disney Plus right now. All of the footage that they had, like,
that's cool. That's cool.
Ewan McGregor talking about the Kenobi series. You had the Marvel showcase where they showed footage and whatnot.
Okay.
Yeah, it was weird. But for Bartley and Barnes, I have obviously photo stills from the footage that we can showcase. And before getting to, each show specifically that they showed, I want to show the overall of what was shown and what was featured as far as Marvel goes. And as you can see on your screen, they showed logo after logo after logo, official title, and it was more of a, here's an updated logo, here's what's on the way. Not too many details on these upcoming series shows, but I wanted to ask you guys, because there are a few that we'll get into, but overall, what captures your eye regarding Disney Plus and what's coming out?
So I'll say really quickly, most of this stuff we already knew was coming, and nothing has changed. Like Miss Marvel, right? I mean, we know they said summer 2022, right? I mean, maybe a release date is, we can narrow down release dates, but other than X-Men 97 and Marvel Zombies, and Spider-Man Freshman Year, we already knew all this stuff was coming. Which is interesting. Like Agatha, we got a title, Agatha House of Harkness, which I love it. But yeah, I mean, I'll tell you what, other than maybe some of the trailers or teaser footage that we got from some other things, nothing blew me away, to be honest, other than maybe one thing that we're going to talk about.
Well, of those logos, yeah, the X-Men 97 was the thing that, because I noticed that earlier today.
I don't get it though. Do you?
As far as what it is?
So are they?
Anything. I have no idea. I don't know if it's shows or movies, animated.
Yeah. So all right. So they're doing an animated series on Disney Plus. Like, are they continuing the 90s animated series?
Which one?
That's
the X-Men 97.
Which one?
When I saw the logo, that's
the
why
X-Men 97. Yes, many from what I've read, many of the voice cast is returning from the original 90s series. It'll be a continuation of sorts.
Okay, that's cool. Like that's great. I'm guessing maybe it ended in 96 or something, and they're like starting it up again, which is really cool. I just I hope they're not thinking, oh, if we give them an animated X-Men series, they won't ask about X-Men for a while in live action. That's not the case. We're still going to be asking about X-Men in live action.
Yes, but I've been thinking about this since we saw Eternals.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It might be it feels like it's going to be a while before we get any X-Men.
I agree.
Like, we'll see characters, but full like X-Men. Like, I think it's going to be still a while.
So I agree, and that's why I think they're doing this. Like, I think they're like, let's give them something X-Men, so like to feed the want, so we can take our time and wait for live action. But I'm telling, for the fans, it's not going to work. Like, people won't like.
Well, yeah.
Casual MCU fans who just want to watch these movies in the theater or on Disney Plus, whatever, they're not they're not going to get their fix of X-Men just from watching this series. I don't think. But like,
I don't think.
I love the original X-Men series. I love it, and I'm excited for it. I'll watch it, and Star Drew's excited for it.
But I think that series is for because there's people like me, and I mean I'm 42 years old, but I mean in the 90s I was a teenager in high school watching me and my friends watching the X-Men series.
Too.
Mm-hmm.
But I think the series is trying to introduce it. It's for the nostalgic purposes. It's for us, but I think it's for new like my youngest daughter.
That's a good point because I think you know what? That's a great point because I think X-Men have fell out of like on the forefront of pop culture and where like kids know about the X-Men. Because I work at elementary school and I asked a kid. It was like during Halloween time, and I think we were talking about like Halloween claws for Wolverine, right? And I was like, I was like, you know who Wolverine is, right? And he's like, yeah, of course. And I'm like, you know what superhero team he's a part of? And he was like, the one with Storm. And I'm like, oh, that's close. Like good. Like that's leading towards it, but it's the X-Men. Like kids don't know about the X-Men as much as we think they do. So that's a great point, Keith.
It's the Avengers. The Avengers are the new X-Men.
Yeah.
The Avengers have become
because the X-Men were way more popular than the Avengers in the 90s.
In the 90s, and specifically because of this TV series, especially. But yeah, the X-Men became. That's when they made that jump. Nobody knew anything about the Avengers.
Like the Justice League was pretty popular too. Like X-Men and Justice League were like the two superhero groups that everyone knew.
It was, but just it was more. And I say this maybe kind of to speak for myself. With Justice League, people really thought of like the Saturday morning cartoon or like the Super Friends, rather than the proper like the Justice League that we know when they rebooted.
That makes sense. Yeah,
the Crisis on Infinite Earth. So, but yeah, so I think this is trying to get the younger generation back into X-Men because remember, not just movies, but because of the whole thing with Fox owning the rights, Marvel pushed back X-Men even in comics. Like they were not forefront anymore at all. Like they stopped pushing X-Men in comics and other stuff as well.
And toys too, I heard.
So, and toys, yeah. So they got to reintroduce the X-Men to a whole new generation.
That's a good point. So they're kind of starting from the ground up. Like, let's get these 8-year-olds invested in the X-Men and then introduce them in the and then do an X-Men movie in 3 years when these kids are 11 and they're like, I got to go watch the X-Men movie. That makes sense.
Because that's exactly what happened. Because it started with, like I said, with the animated series. Then in 2000 when the movie came out, which was huge. And, it went from there. So
I still remember
that again.
Being a kid. I was like 10 and how big the X-Men movie was.
Yeah.
It was like the talk of the town. Like,
I bet. Yeah. I can imagine being a kid at that time. I mean, I was in high school. I was 20 when that movie came out, but it was still huge. Like we were all super excited about it. But,
yeah. That's great. What about you, Gio? What out of those images you showed us, what excites you the most?
Oh, for me, it's X-Men '97.
Oh, really? Oh, wow.
And, it's just that's what I grew up with. That was my those are my comic books. The '90s X-Men, the '90s Spider-Man, the '90s Batman animated series, the Superman series.
Yeah.
So to see this again, it's like, oh my god! Like, yes, nostalgia, absolutely. And this is I don't know. I find it a little bit poetic. The fact that and they're going to revive arguably maybe you can make a case for the first X-Men movie, maybe X-Men 2, but that animated series is the most popular piece of content regarding the IP. When you ask people,
I agree.
Even comic book fans, X-Men, what's the first thing that comes to mind? For a lot of people, it's the 90s animated show.
You can't help but picture those yellow spandex and that song. Yep.
Yeah.
The song, which we're going to hear again, and I think it's great that they're bringing back the voice cast. That's awesome.
Yeah.
And Yeah, I think you guys are right. We are quite a few years away because remember, Dark Phoenix was 2019. That was 2 years ago, and
Right.
New Mutants was this year, right?
It was 2020, I believe. Yeah.
Last year. It was last year. Yeah. It was about a year ago. About this time a year
Some
ago, I
stuff to
think.
do. Um, yeah, yeah. So there it is, guys. That's the majority of the logos right there.
Well,
What are you
this is
thinking
all the
too?
Marvel Studio stuff. Yeah.
Well,
And why are they
no.
doing a
Okay. Oh,
Spider-Man
that's Spider-Man.
freshman year series?
What?
I'm
What?
surprised you.
So it's a series.
Like, yeah, it's an animated series, and every series he's in high school.
Okay.
So how's this different? It's Marvel Studios. That's
Is
okay.
this
He's
is this Peter
he's
Parker?
in college.
Oh, is it college?
I believe it's college.
Okay, they didn't say. So, I mean, I don't know. So, excuse me. I hope he's in college because that's interesting. I don't like.
Yeah.
I saw that tweet that you retweeted, Gio. Some guy was saying, "Am I the only one tired of seeing Spider-Man in high school?" I'm tired of him in high school.
Oh yeah.
Like in the movies, like this is obviously he's not going to be in school in No Way Home, like for the majority of it. But I'm just like I don't want to. After once Tom Holland gets old enough to be like once the Tom Holland Spider-Man is in college, like I don't want to see another high school Spider-Man in for like 40 years when they have to reboot it or something. But if they're doing him as a freshman in college, that's interesting. I might check that out.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, well, see, I was asking if it's Parker, because I thought maybe it was and I think it would have been a bigger or a different type of. I thought maybe it was Miles. He would be a freshman, right? I'm assuming. I know. I think he's in 8th grade in Into Spider-Verse. So I didn't know if it was a Miles Morales thing or not, but yeah, if it's him as a freshman in college, that makes more sense. But it's just live action or animated?
It's animated.
It's animated.
So
right?
here's the official press for it. Spider-Man.
Oh, okay.
I think you cut out there a little bit, Gio.
With a journey like. Oh, you got me.
Yeah, you're good. You're better.
Okay. Basically, it says a journey unlike we've ever seen in a style that celebrates the character's early comic book roots. So,
well, that sounds like high school.
Yeah. So,
Yeah, that's interesting. Well, all right, let's jump into the stuff that we got a little bit of footage of, Gio.
Yeah. Let's start with Moon Knight. Oscar Isaac, we got a tease. We see Oscar Isaac right there, top right. We got a tease of the costume, bottom left.
Yeah.
And think.
Yeah, so Gio, you saw the clip. Do we know whose voice that is that's talking? It's not Oscar Isaac. I'm guessing.
Believe so.
But it could be the voice of the god that is like, basically possessing him in a way. It's possible. But look, we didn't get much from this, but I like it. I mean, it seems different from MCU, and it seems a little darker. And we always knew we were getting a white suit, but the design of it looks cool from that frame.
Yeah,
I'm in on this.
Yeah, same. I didn't see the footage. I just saw the stills. I'm actually on Disney Plus now, trying to watch it in mute. Yeah. So I didn't think we were actually gonna. I remember the stuff with him training a few months ago, but yeah, I was not expecting this. So I'm very excited about this. This is cool.
Yeah, I was thinking about it, and it's like this character. I don't know much about him, but from what I understand, he's not the cleanest MCU or he's not the cleanest Marvel superhero, I should say. Like he's not
Right.
necessarily like morally all there from what I've learned.
He's a little bit of a head case as well. Yeah. It's interesting. Oscar Isaac too. Like that's because he's so great. I mean, he's great in everything, but people have been raving about him in Dune, obviously, and yeah, I like I said, I didn't know they were shooting all this to at least enough to get some of this footage. So I'm very, very
excited. Oscar Isaac is an amazing actor. He's an Academy level actor in my opinion. Yeah. And when they casted him, I was just gonna say over the moon, and I did not mean that. No pun intended, I swear. But I was over the moon about the casting of Oscar Isaac, and I am definitely excited again. Because this guy playing this character, it's really something awesome.
Yeah,
and I love that. We have a this actor who normally, you're in Star Wars, like Carrie Fisher and Mark Hamill, they're typecast forever, right? And it's like this guy can go from Star Wars to Dune to Marvel. I'm glad the days of being typecast are over, even though I maybe feel like people are afraid of Daisy Ridley because of Star Wars in a way. I feel like she maybe got the Mark Hamill. She kind of got the Mark Hamill kind of treatment in a way, which kind of sucks.
You're probably right. I think people might be questioning. I've heard people questioning her acting ability, which is we could say another time, but which is interesting. Anyway, I don't know, but
come on, just watch Force Awakens and you'll forget about it.
Yeah, I know.
Well, I never saw that movie, Orient Express. Was she good?
She was okay.
Movie?
Yeah,
she was okay.
Yeah,
she wasn't bad.
Wasn't a huge part, but because it was an ensemble cast, so she was fine. Yeah, she was. Yeah, definitely wasn't bad. But well, I'm noticing of those logos, and like I said, I didn't watch all of Geo. You could definitely answer this for me. Did we not get anything about Loki season 2? I know they got a What If season 2 logo.
I think there was an announcement that it's happening, which we already knew. Loki will.
We saw it on in the finale
and at the end, but nothing as far as story details or anything like that. No.
Oh, or no date or anything. Oh, that's what I thought maybe that would be coming next.
No date, Keith. Look at all this stuff coming out.
Oh, I know. No, you're absolutely right. You are.
You want it next year.
Yeah, I do, man. I'm excited about Loki. I watched it start to finish twice.
Nice.
Oh, I love Loki. I've liked all the series. Oh my god. WandaVision is up there. I don't know. They might be tied. But all the MCU series have been great so far. All right, let's what else we got, Gio?
Yeah.
Let's take a real quick look at Nick Fury's updated look for Secret Invasion. There it is right there.
Ooh, okay.
Looking a little grizzly.
Yeah.
And
I saw this earlier.
Got the beard and all.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it. We know Sam Jackson's back as Fury, Ben Mendelsohn as General Talos, and Emilia Clarke in an undisclosed role.
I don't know about you guys, but
yep.
Ever since Captain Marvel, like his eye cracks me up.
Yeah, they kind of.
Has he always had the scars? Like ever since he showed up in Iron Man?
Mm-hmm.
And so, but we just found out it's a extraterrestrial cat. Like we just didn't know that.
Space cat, yes.
Like it's like it looks like he's like a badass war injury, but he was scratched by a cat. Very interesting. It looks good. I don't know what to expect from the show. I'll be honest. The idea of just like every single person you see on screen, it could not be really who they are. That kind of, I don't know if I like that, to be honest. But it's like literally every single person who pops up on screen could not really be who they are. And that's just, I don't know. I don't know if I'm in love with that.
That's the story.
I don't know if they're doing
I know.
that.
So I don't
if
think they
that's
should do
extending-
this.
Well, no, it's. I don't know if that's extending into like we just watched Eternals or not Eternals. I just noticed Shang-Chi is on Disney Plus today, which is awesome.
Yeah.
Shang-Chi's not. I don't think that's extending all the way to them.
No, I'm saying once the Secret Invasion show starts, everybody on the show, every single character could not be who they are. I'm talking about the show.
Yeah, but like Gio said, it's mystery. You don't know what, and then once you learn about the scrolls and or this particular group of scrolls that are trying to invade Earth and why, like that it'll make sense within the story. I don't know if you ever read it. They covered it in that animated Avengers series that you used to love, which is really good.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
yeah.
Captain America being secretly a Skrull and helping people escape prison and all kinds of other stuff like that. That's a cool story, man. I can't wait to see how they adapt it.
Yeah, we'll see. But Nick Fury always looks badass, but Kitty Scratch is always funny to me.
People were so mad.
Here's She-Hulk. There she is.
Yeah.
Right.
I think this is the thing of the Marvel stuff that excited me the most, to be honest.
Nice.
Keith, there's like a trailer kind of.
See, I didn't know that until just now.
Yeah.
I think whoever Star Drew or whoever just put it in the chat here. Yeah, I did not know that.
Keith, if you want to take a second and watch it, you can mute yourself and watch it. I don't mind. It's not that long. And you and I could keep talking about it.
The actress name.
No, you can't. You should listen to it with audio.
Oh, okay. All right.
There's a reason why.
Okay.
But go ahead, Gio.
The actress name is Tatiana Maslany as She-Hulk. This show is described as a comedy / legal drama with obviously Mark Ruffalo returning as Bruce Banner. We didn't see Tim Roth, but he will be back as Emil Blonsky, aka Abomination. And I don't know who that little kid is on the bottom left. No, I don't.
No, that's her.
Is that her?
That's Tatiana Maslany. She looks so small because she's standing next to the Hulk. That's her in real size, Gio.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
that's why he says these transformations, they're triggered by anger and emotion or whatever. He's talking to her.
Oh, okay. Wow.
Yeah, and the reason I get what you're saying, to me, it looks like a kid at first, but the reason why, look how big Hulk is right now. Imagine if he's Mark Ruffalo's height. Like, he would be like where his belly is, right? And he would be more on par with her height.
Mm-hmm.
So she just looks small because she's standing in view with the Hulk.
And speaking of Hulk, what are you wearing, man?
What, his shorts or like the hoodie?
And a little short sleeve hoodie on, and
hey, he doesn't have a lot of options. All right, he has to get custom made clothes.
What are you doing to our boy?
I'm curious because the end of Shang-Chi, spoiler, when we see Bruce Banner, and basically he's normal. Is he going back and forth again? Or is this before Shang-Chi? Who knows? Keith, did you watch it?
I did.
And you're a She-Hulk fan.
Yes.
Yeah, see, that's why I wanted you to watch. Are you glad you watched it with audio?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. This is great. Yeah. You know, I want some lawyer stuff, though. I want to see her doing some courtroom.
Oh, they better do some lawyer stuff. Yeah.
Lawyer stuff. Yeah, I want that. Yeah, good. Okay, that's great. Yeah, thank you, Rachel. Yeah, I hope so. Because I know she. Yeah. Anyways, yeah, she's like the best lawyer in the country. Between her and Daredevil, but cool. Yeah.
They have to be like the two superheroes in the world that are also lawyers are also the best lawyers in the world.
Exactly.
I hope there's like another lawyer that's just a regular human who can like challenge them or something. But no, I wanted you to watch it because it's cool. I love, like, from the trailer, it looks like Mark Ruffalo's in this a lot. And I love that. I love that because I feel like too much, like, people are always saying, oh, separate it from this, like, make it different, make it its own thing. But look, the character is literally named She-Hulk. Like, she's his cousin, first of all.
And they're cousins, yeah.
And the female version of Hulk, right? So especially in this first series, let's say they do 3 seasons of She-Hulk, whatever the case is. Maybe he's not in season 2 and 3, but for this first season, I love that it looks like he's involved more. And I love, because look, we know from the comics and from the animated stuff, She-Hulk is much smaller than Hulk. Like we know that from the visual look, but it looks like she's not even much. From that one shot they kind of show of She-Hulk, it looks like she's pretty small compared to Hulk, even in live action. And it looks like she doesn't get much bigger than her original self. Like, definitely bigger, but not much bigger than her original self when she becomes She-Hulk. And I kind of like that. And like, she's still going to be lifting cars over her head and jumping on buildings and stuff. So it'll be awesome.
She looked taller than me. I think that's why they did that shot from her feet all the way up to her head, because I think she's supposed to be like 6'8" or something like that. Like, yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
So it looked like she looked big to me. I don't know how tall the actress is, but I'm sure she's,
well, yeah, but yeah, I mean, I guess that's true. But either way, I like how it's different than Hulk. Like, even they've always done it with her, right? They always made her smaller than Hulk, so I like that.
Well, I don't know, but because I mean, Hulk also, he's like 8 feet tall, so something.
Yeah, and he's huge. Like, I'm saying, Hulk, like, his arms are probably like this, but I'm just saying, if his arms are like this, hers are like this.
A little bit,
and like,
they make her.
It's just because she's a woman. I just think it's different too.
No, yeah. Well, they're definitely. I think when they were designing her back in the day, I'm sure that was this made her just a green, tall woman. But there are versions of her where she does turn into like the big, massive, like Hulk size version.
Oh, okay, interesting.
Yeah, there definitely have been times with that. But no, yeah, I'd love to see that. I'm curious to see because I know at some point she just stays in her Hulk form, just because she just likes it better.
Oh, and she's actually like work in the courtroom as She-Hulk.
Yes.
Look, the last episode is going to be her like that, like lawyering as She-Hulk in the season finale.
Exactly.
Look at you guys talking about the anatomy of Hulks and whatnot. It's funny. All right. How about Miss Marvel?
Yeah.
There she is.
Oh, I didn't. Interesting. I didn't know we had footage or like.
Just watch this. Yeah. Just now.
There you go.
Okay.
What do you guys think?
She's very young. She's much younger.
Very young.
Younger. I mean, she is a young kid, I guess, in the Kamala Khan, but looks cool. I mean, again, I watched it was mostly without audio. I heard a little bit of it, but Miss Marvel fangirl. I'm sorry, Captain Marvel fangirl, obviously. So kind of following that storyline, but looks cool. They're leaning into the Indian or Sikh, whichever culture there, which is pretty cool. I think, so. No,
that's awesome, and I played the Avengers video game, and I mean, at least I started it, and it starts with her. You start as her, and it's pretty fun, and you learn a lot about her. And that was where I learned the most about her from playing that video game. And I'm excited. Like, I'm excited for this series. I know I was telling you, Gio, that I'm kind of pessimistic about Captain Marvel 2. I haven't seen Candyman yet. I need to watch it because the woman who's directing Captain Marvel 2 is directing it.
Yeah.
And so that can totally change my mind. But I was telling Gio that I hate the title of Captain Marvel 2, The Marvels. Like,
we talked about this.
It's not even like it's implying that it's not even a Captain Marvel movie. It's a team up movie. It's not even about going to focus on her primarily, but that's another conversation for another day. But yeah, I'm stoked for Miss Marvel though. Like that looks cool. And even in the show or in the video game, when you go back to her like childhood bedroom, she has Captain Marvel stuff everywhere. Like it looks very much like that. So that's cool.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. Well, that's a wrap for Marvel. Let's go to Star Wars with Kenobi.
Wait, what? Oh,
There it
my
is,
God.
right there. Concept art from the upcoming series, Obi-Wan Kenobi. As you can see, Hayden Christensen as Darth Vader is very much present. Is going to be present in this show. What do you guys think? I mean, this concept art kind of answers some questions and some stuff we maybe weren't expecting. What do you think?
Is that so? This is concept art.
Yes.
Are they? They're not. Are they shooting anything yet? I don't know. I wonder.
I think they're done filming.
Really?
Let me confirm that.
Oh, okay. Because I heard Christian Harloff was saying he was expecting a trailer, which I didn't.
Oh, a lot of people were expecting a trailer.
I didn't know that. Yeah. So I didn't know. I thought maybe they just weren't. Okay. I didn't. Okay. All right. Well, cool.
Do we even have a release date?
That's about to be my next question. Yeah.
I don't think so.
Will be released in 2022, 6 episodes.
Really?
2022.
Yeah, next year.
Wow.
But no like month or anything.
Interesting.
Nope. So they said you're getting Book of Boba Fett, you're getting Mandalorian season 3, you're getting Visions, and Kenobi.
6 episodes. I wonder if they're gonna. I know Mandalorian has always been, or the first 2 seasons were in like November, but I wonder if they're gonna push give Kenobi the holiday time, maybe move Mandalorian up a little bit sooner. I'm curious about that. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm okay with that. If it's a year from now, we're within that window-ish. And just watching this stupid little like documentary style like behind the scenes footage of Kenobi, like seriously made me very emotional because I can't wait for this. And they're showing me concept art of Darth Vader and Obi-Wan Kenobi at Ewan McGregor Obi-Wan fighting. And it's like
interesting.
We ever since they announced this series, like, or ever since what was it, D23 last year, or was that even D23?
Whatever that was. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I remember.
They have so many different things, but it was the Investor Day.
Yeah, the investor thing. Yeah, right.
Yeah, and they announced, and she said it was going to be the most epic rematch of all time. We knew this was coming. We knew they were going to fight.
Yeah.
I'm like, Keith, get out of here with that like not excitedness. That's amazing. We're going to see Ewan McGregor fighting Darth Vader, and I don't know how they're going to incorporate. They focused on, me and Hayden are working together again, and Deborah Child's like, it's Hayden Christensen, but how? Is it going to be his voice, his modified voice through the Darth Vader mask, or is it flashbacks?
At the end of episode 3, oh my god, Revenge of the Sith. I mean, he was in the suit. That whole whatever people. Yeah, that was actually him in there. So I guess he's gonna put him in there again. I guess. I mean, I don't know who did it in. There's I'm sure some bodybuilder guy probably in Rogue One, but you can put Hayden Christensen in there, and I'm sure we'll see him in flashback form, like maybe because you got to show his face. Like you got to show.
I'm guessing at some point during their fight, he takes his helmet off, like he knocks his helmet off or something. It has to be.
But he's going to be all burnt and mangled up and stuff.
But it'll still be Hayden, though.
Maybe. So you're okay with this? You're excited about this? You guys both love Revenge of the Sith, okay?
I don't know how I feel about them fighting again.
Fighting again. That's what I'm saying.
I'm like, I don't know how to explain this. This is if I can have one thing ever, if I could have one wish ever within movies or TV, this would be it. Oh, Ewan McGregor fighting Darth Vader. This is my number one ever want. Like, I'm not even joking. This is what I want. And I don't care about like, oh, but in A New Hope, he said this. Like, it can still apply to this situation when they meet again.
I don't even care about that, man. And Gio, I know you. Okay, so you sound like you're kind of on the a little offense, but don't you feel? I feel like you may be leaning more towards where I'm going. Is Revenge of that was epic in Revenge of the Sith.
That was, I mean, from
and
the
tragic,
yeah,
and like Duel of Fates playing, and they're it's just going to undermine all that. Just have them fight again.
I don't think it undermines it. I think this adds to it. Like for me, when I think about storytelling and producing and writing, and like whether you're the person like Kathleen Kennedy who proves this stuff, I'm like, when you're saying, okay, here a writer comes to you or a producer, I have an idea. Well, let's do this, and they're like, no, like, and for me, I'm always like, why not? You can do it. You have the means to do it. This will make people happy. It's going to be amazing. Do it.
Yeah. No, I
like,
get it.
Fuck all of you.
No, this is the number one thing that I'm passionate about. But I don't care. I want to hear you guys. If you guys disagree with me, I want to hear it. I don't like.
Oh no, sure. No,
I'm okay. Like, tell me it's stupid if you think it's stupid.
No, I don't think it's because everything you're saying is the reason they're doing it.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So it looks like Obi-Wan is going to travel to Vader's castle, and they're going to fight again. And
Mustafar.
I'm guessing Vader wins this one since Obi-Wan won round one.
See, now that would be okay. That would be interesting
because maybe Obi-Wan is not fully ready to go into isolation yet. Maybe he's riding a high because he's like, I beat this guy before, I can beat this guy again.
Beat him again.
He must think that Anakin is dead, right? So he's gonna find out that Anakin is still alive, and he knows already. In A New Hope, he knows that it's Anakin. That Anakin's Darth Vader already.
Yes,
Anakin.
Yeah.
So at some point, he finds out.
You think he wouldn't be able to sense that that's Anakin?
No, he does. No, I'm saying he does. Like, I'm saying he finds out.
No, but
he probably hears that there's a Sith Lord running around, like, doing all this, and he's gonna know right away that's Anakin.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant like during the course of their fight. Like,
no. He's gonna know. He's gonna go out. He's basically gonna go hunt Vader down and try to kill him.
Gotcha.
Because he's like, no, he can't. And like, to me, it's like Ewan McGregor playing Obi-Wan, watching over Luke, finds out that Anakin / Darth Vader is still alive, and what's his mission to protect this boy? And he's like, I gotta go take him out before he comes here. And I love that premise.
He saw the footage of the Emperor naming him Darth Vader, so he's gonna already know.
Oh, duh! So when you're absolutely right. So whenever he hears of a Darth Vader, once he becomes because everybody knows about him, right? He's gonna know that that's Anakin.
Yeah.
No, I think he knows right away. But
yeah, I mean, the more I talk about it, it's cool. It's definitely intriguing, especially Gio. If Vader wins this one, then
Vader's gonna win this one.
Yeah, that makes it way more compelling. Then I'm on board with that.
Yeah, because A New Hope was kind of a draw. They were fighting, and Obi-Wan just kind of
gave himself up. Yeah.
All I'm saying is we better see Liam Neeson as Qui-Gon. Something.
Absolutely.
Have to. That's a must.
Yeah.
That's a must.
All right. A couple other one more thing, Disney Plus, and then a couple of movie news. Keith.
Brian.
How would you feel about a proper Predator prequel set in early what's what I'm looking for? Civilization, like early man, whatever. Prey.
Yeah.
20th Century Fox Predator going up against bow and arrows and spears. And yeah, what do you think? Releasing on Hulu from the director of 10 Cloverfield Lane.
Oh, really? Oh, okay.
Mhm. Yeah, I threw in that last part. Look at you changing your tune.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened. So I was getting ready to tear this to shreds until you said that. But okay, well that's interesting. Actually, and I didn't know about the setting, like in I guess like cavemanish times. I guess so. That's actually that's kind of interesting.
That's scary.
Yeah. Well, they respect those, like they're just trying to find warriors that can fight them, I guess. And so, and every Predator movie up until the last stupid one, I mean, you defeat a Predator with a tree or Arnold used trees and stuff to logs and trees and rocks and stuff to defeat the Predator. So I mean, you can beat them with primitive weapons. Actually, okay, it's kind of interesting. I'm ready for it. After the last one, I'm ready for this franchise to go away. As much as I love the first two.
Was the Shane Black one really that bad?
Oh, it's awful. Oh, you never saw it? It's really bad. It's very, very bad. I think me and Jake reviewed it on the channel, and it's literally one of the worst movies I've seen in years.
Is it better than the Robert Rodriguez one with Adrian Brody and Lawrence Fishburne? And
so that one's awesome. That movie's awesome. I like that.
That one's actually not that bad.
I love awesome. That one.
Yeah, that's really good. And I was hoping it would be more like that, but it's not. So if this one is more like that, the Robert Rodriguez one, well, I think he just produced that, right? I don't think he directed it, but
no, he directed it.
Did he really? What? You sure?
Robert Rodriguez, the 2010 movie?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. My bad. Never mind. It's Nimrod Antal.
Okay. You know, right? Rodriguez is my guy. That's why I was like, what?
You know what, guys? I'm just
kidding. No, that's good. Yeah, but still, you could tell his fingerprints were on that. So, yeah, hopefully this one turns out more like that. So,
Jacob?
I'm in.
Yeah, I'm not, too invested in this franchise, but I do like the concept of, look, every movie you've done is called Predator or Predators or The Predator or something.
Yeah.
And they're flipping the script and calling it Prey. And so the Prey is going to hunt the Predators. And I hope that's the concept of it. And that sounds cool. I like it.
Well, I know at the end of the Danny Glover one, which Predator 2 is not great. I like it, but no, at the end of it, they showed. Yeah, I thought it was fine, but at the end, that's where they show that they've been on Earth or they have been coming to Earth for thousands of years or whatever. So yeah. So if they tie, kind of show that, tie back to that. No alien stuff. Don't tie it to aliens again. Just let that go. Even though I actually like Alien versus Predator. The first one. Second one's terrible. But yeah. But don't tie those together. Don't show the xenomorph unless you just want to show a trophy with the xenomorph head on it or something. Maybe, but
like they did at the end of Predator 2.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I don't know. We'll see. This is interesting.
All right. Well, we got a couple of news topics to get to. This first one's brace yourself, Marvel fans. Doctor Strange sequel undergoing significant reshoots. Apparently, Benedict and company, they're working 6 days a week shooting, 6 weeks total. If you ask certain people, you'll get one answer or another. One group of people are saying, Marvel, their reshoots, they plan it during the shoots. And you got other people saying, wait a minute, 6 weeks? This movie is supposed to come out spring of next year or around late spring. And what's going on? This is a pretty It's a pretty big movie, guys. This isn't, this isn't like exactly. I mean, yeah, it's a Doctor Strange movie, but there's a lot of stuff happening in Multiverse of Madness. Is there a reason to be concerned? Or, I mean, let's say you're a Sam Raimi fan and you're hoping to see a Sam Raimi movie. I mean, what do you guys think?
I don't think there's any reason to be concerned at all, to be honest. Literally every single movie made nowadays plans reshoots. They set aside time ahead for planned reshoots. Now, maybe not this much, maybe not 6 days a week. So there's that. But also, Gio mentioned this is a very big movie. This is like Civil War level movie, right? If not bigger. And I mean, maybe even Infinity War level big, honestly. And what has happened in the past 2 years? There's been a pandemic. Everything was pushed. They had to alter like the release dates of everything and the way Kevin Feige had the MCU mapped out. And maybe this movie was supposed to already be out, right? So in this time that they've had to reflect on things, maybe they've realized, okay, the fans aren't reacting to this as much as we thought. Let's change this in the script. Let's change this. Let's alter this. And because of all the delays and the time they've had, and this is maybe a bad thing. At some point, you have to stop tinkering with stuff, right? But I think because of the delays and all this, they've had time to adjust maybe what their plans were, and they're incorporating things. Maybe they're incorporating something that they weren't ready to introduce yet, but now that the movie was pushed back so far, they're ready to introduce it now. So I think it's a creative thing. I don't think it's cause for concern.
Keith?
Yeah. Look, I agree with all that, but even if it's none of that, like you said, and again, I agree with everything you said. They add in, like you said, they add in reshoots to every movie, even small movies. When I was in film school, all our little 3-minute shorts, we did reshoots on all our stuff. Like, I mean, 6 weeks of reshoots, they say. A lot of that is scheduling. Sometimes actors are only available at a certain time, or they're not available until a little bit later, or that kind of thing. So they give themselves, a month and a half to, hey, Benedict Cumberbatch might be doing something right now, so they'll shooting other stuff with, what's Elizabeth Olsen may be only available for this certain amount of time here at the beginning, or Rachel McAdams and maybe can't come in until later, or maybe so that kind of thing. It's par for the course with every movie. I would say
with every movie.
Well, yeah. Well, you know what? That's a good point, because that in that sense that was. I don't want to get into that, but yeah, no, you're absolutely. Yeah, listen. Sometimes it is too much, So this is not a situation like that where they're going to redo a whole movie. Use a tragedy as an excuse to redo a whole movie, but I don't know. You guys know I've not been the most excited about having Sam Raimi direct this movie, so I am a little bit kind of like, ugh. But no, I think everything. You're absolutely right. It's no cause for concern. I mean, it's and also it could be COVID stuff. It's kind of harder to do stuff with. Obviously, you got to meet certain safety protocols and that sort of thing. So maybe there's some stuff that they couldn't do before that they got to try to do now, and then like you said, maybe some story stuff that they want to. Let's try this. This is because of the way, because not just everything is delayed, everything came out in different order than what they were going to do. So I wonder if
that's what it might have changed the story of the MCU in a way, and how they tell it.
Exactly. And so I don't know. Yeah, but it's no big deal. Of course, every time anybody hears reshoots, people flip out and act like,
Okay, let me give you guys a hypothetical, and Brian, you can chime in if you want. Okay, and let me know if I'm reaching here. So, Tom Holland has one more movie on his contract with Marvel after No Way Home. I'm of the belief that it is Multiverse of Madness.
Hmm.
Sony is trying to go all in and set up their universe. But behind the scenes, because Kevin Feige, from what I've read, what I've heard, is really fighting with Sony about this next No Way Home trailer and
Oh
showing
boy.
2 certain characters.
Yeah. Yeah.
What if Sony is getting way ahead of themselves, starting to mess things up, and Marvel's going, "Oh no, that's it. We're pulling out. You want your Spider-Man universe? Go ahead, have it." We saw Venom 2. We're seeing an early cut of Morbius. Reshoots.
So you think they want to pull Spider-Man
redo this
out
thing.
of?
I don't
Take
know.
out all Spider-Man scenes?
I'm bringing up a hypothetical here. Like, we know Sony. Is there
absolutely
smoke
right.
or what?
I don't know.
The only thing I have to back this up is
go ahead.
the reception of Venom Let There Be Carnage.
Right.
The rumors about Kevin Feige, like, you're not going to show Toby and Andrew in this next trailer. Why? The movie sells itself.
Right.
But what do you think? Is there something? Is it nothing?
No, I don't think so, honestly. Like, I think either way they're going to make the same movie regardless of what's going to happen with Spider-Man, unless like where Spider-Man ends up at the end of the movie is, influences what happens after that, So no, I tend to try to think positively in these situations. I don't want to just conjure up negativity in my head just because.
It's a habit with DC fans. My bad.
No, I like to think it's happening for a good reason and not a bad reason,
Sure. In my head, I went to. It's possible it could be Spider-Man related. I went to Wanda. They're trying to figure out what to do there, or they're working some stuff out there. In my head. WandaVision and with Loki, and now What If? I don't know, but depends on what happens with Doctor Strange in Spider-Man, the Spider-Man movie. Because we're all speculating whether or not that's the Dark Doctor Strange or you know what I mean. So. And if we don't know what Doctor Strange, I'm assuming it's going to be well, no, he absorbed him, didn't he? He turned into full-on Dark Doctor Strange, didn't he? So we don't know what state he's going to be in by the time the Multiverse of Madness starts.
True.
So I don't know. Yeah, this is actually, it's interesting. It's interesting to think about.
All right. One more topic. This is DC related. Henry Cavill. The Hollywood Reporter did a spread with Henry Cavill, talked about upcoming projects like The Witcher and the Highlander reboot with the John Wick director. And he was also asked about Superman, DC. What's going on? Is anything happening? Can you tell us anything? Here's what Henry Cavill had to say. There is still a lot of storytelling for me to do as Superman, and I would absolutely love the opportunities, Cavill says. The killing of Zod gave a reason for the character to never kill again. Superman falling to the ground and screaming afterward. I don't think that was originally in the script, but I wanted to show the pain he had. I did far more emotional takes that they didn't choose. Tears were happening. He just killed the last remaining member of his species. That's the choice he made in that moment, and he'll never do that again. There's an opportunity for growth after that, to explore the psyche of Superman as a deep, seemingly invulnerable, godlike being, but with real feeling on the inside. As I always say, the cape is still in the closet. So, not exactly a straightforward answer. He's open to playing Superman. This tells me Warner Brothers hasn't come to him with anything. At least what we're saying. But what do you guys make of this message from Henry Cavill What do
I
you
was
think?
gonna say I don't think he knows. I don't think he knows. Like you said, he probably just hasn't heard from them. So, but as he's as he said right at the end. I mean, he's Cape's always he's been open to it this whole time. So it's not on him, obviously. So I love what he said about the killing of Zod and all that stuff. And I hated the way people. Anyway, I don't want to.
Yeah, I mean, no, but that's funny because what he said is the same what we've been saying this whole time.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's the exact truth. It's like, what?
Yes.
So, let him kill that family right in front of him, first of all, this innocent family.
Yes.
Second of all, let him go and destroy the world after that.
The
like,
world,
no.
yeah. Which Zod literally said he's going to kill every single. He said, "I'll kill every single one of them." Like he said, like he's not going to let him do that. So,
and people want to cherry pick. Oh, in this version of the comics, Superman doesn't kill. In this version of the comics, Batman doesn't kill. They both kill in the comics in other versions. So which versions are you talking about when you reference that? No, that's true. It's 100% true.
No, I was going to say I'm a little bit different on the Batman part, only because I don't have any problem with him killing, but just there wasn't the development for me wasn't there. I don't want to get into that, but like if you show that progression of him being like, oh, I don't want to do this, like I can't do this anymore. Fine, whatever. But I felt like they did a better job with Superman than they did with Batman. I'm not blaming Snyder anymore for that though. So that's just me. I think anyway. Well,
remember I was telling you guys like Obi-Wan fighting Vader is probably my number one movie wish or whatever. Yeah. Henry Cavill returning as Superman is probably number two, to be honest, because I told you guys this several times. Superman was like my least favorite superhero before Man of Steel. And now Superman is one of my favorite superheroes.
Well, someone asked him about
just because of that movie.
Someone asked him about playing Captain Britain. He said he'd be down.
Do it. I would freaking love that. That would be so. And let him just, and he gets to use his British accent.
Absolutely. Say if WB is going to keep sitting on their
hands. But you know what?
If I'm Kevin Feige, hey Henry, come on over.
I actually would rather him play Wolverine, to be honest.
He's too big. Way too.
What do you mean he's too big?
He's bigger than Hugh Jackman. He's way big.
Good.
He's gonna tower over Cyclops.
Hugh Jackman's like 6'2". They're about the same height, I think. But he is very big. No, you're right.
Like is built. To me, Wolverine's tall now. So
there you go. One thing I will bring up, not so fast on the Captain Britain, because a certain somebody really wants to fight Henry Cavill's Superman the same day that THR released this spread. Here's Dwayne Johnson on Twitter. Somebody replied to one of his tweets saying, if you haven't filmed it yet, give Henry Cavill a call and shoot this scene where Black Adam meets Superman. Dwayne Johnson says, I like it. Somehow I always envisioned it, except the handshake at the end. Never. Yeah. Wrong guy. So Henry Cavill's best chance for playing Superman again lies with, in my opinion, I've been saying this for years, one Mr. Dwayne Johnson, who always says the hierarchy of power in the DC universe is about to change. Well, to do that, you got to get through Wonder Woman, which I'm hearing talks about that, and Superman.
I would love just like Shazam 2's or Shazam's happening, and then Superman's like, "What the hell's going on over here?" And he's like, goes and just fights Black Adam. Like that would be awesome.
Listen, I'm with you, Gio. That's great. I'm glad you pulled that up. There's no if anyone can make this happen, it definitely would be The Rock. I don't know if WB is being just super stubborn about it. They know, and I agree with them on the handshake thing, because Superman and Black Adam, they absolutely have beef. So yeah, I agree. The handshake I was hoping to see was between Batman and Superman. We got to get the Batman Superman handshake. They never did, but but yeah, definitely would be an epic fight. Just this is one of those things where what do we waiting on? It's like with Disney asking for Obi-Wan for years, and we just never ever got it. We're finally getting it now. Same thing. Like, come on, man. Like, that's Superman versus Black Adam would The Rock, and then Henry Cavill Superman versus. Come on, that would be.
And like you only have like there's only certain guys in Hollywood who can physically, when you see them on screen, match up to The Rock. Like, not saying he looks more physically imposing than The Rock, but like there's only a few guys, like Joe Manganiello maybe, but this guy, Henry Cavill, can go toe to toe with The Rock on screen.
Yeah, that would be great to watch. Yeah, so
yeah,
I don't know.
See it, especially after that teaser from DC Fandom where The Rock literally fries someone.
I think Dwayne Johnson, The Rock, is so committed to like having Black Adam be menacing, especially from that tweet you showed, that like he's not. I'm not saying he has final say on the script and all this stuff, but I'm saying he probably has major influence. Like, if the script was going in a direction to turn him into an anti-hero or whatever, The Rock's like, no. Let's just make him a villain who maybe happens because of his villainous ways, accidentally does something good or something. You know, I don't think The Rock is going to let it veer too far into anti-hero.
Hopefully not. I agree. He's going to just go up against somebody that's worse and have to stop them.
Yeah,
from
exactly. Yeah,
hurting somebody loves or whatever. I don't know, but I agree. Yeah, you're right. Superman. They'll figure out a way for Superman to win, obviously, because Superman always has to win. But which is fine. I'm not. But man, I just and we'll see. I think depending how Black Adam does. If it's big, and I'm sure it will be. Like, I know, I like when Gio, you predicted $1 billion for Aquaman. We all thought that was crazy, but it happened. I don't know if anything is going to make $1 billion anytime soon. But if this does well, I think I can't imagine them not going forward with putting these two characters together and making this happen. So
that would be great.
All right, well, that does it for news and Disney talk and all that. So
classic Gio. He ends his guest spot with a DC topic where he knew that at least I was going to talk positively about it. So thanks for coming on, man. Thank you for the news topics. We really appreciate it. And we'll probably see you on the next episode of Bartley and Barnes.
Yes, sir.
All right. Always a pleasure, guys. Have a good rest of your show. I'll see you guys in the chat.
All right, man. Have a good night.
Thanks, man.
Later, guys.
All righty, Keith. So we got about 30 minutes, man. Let's dive into some of these movies. So I want to talk about Eternals, Dune, Halloween Kills, and get your thoughts on Last Night on Soho real quick.
Right.
I'll leave Halloween Kills out of this, but what's your favorite movie of these?
Okay,
I mean, because I know it's not Halloween Kills. So what's your favorite movie of the fall season so far?
Well, let's just look. Everyone already knows Halloween Kills is garbage. It sucks. It's one of the worst movies I've seen, probably since The Predator, which I was talking about.
Well, we can talk about Halloween Kills real quick because I'll give some context. And this is why it's not just like a random movie that we think sucks. It's the Halloween franchise is my favorite horror franchise. I watched it as a kid. I don't know why I was watching it at like 6 years old, but I was. And when I was like 10-ish, I think it's Halloween 4 and 5, The Curse of Michael Myers and The Revenge of Michael Myers, where he's chasing the young girl Jamie, who's supposed to be Jamie Lee Curtis's daughter in the series and his niece technically, but they erased all that stuff with the newer movies, right? So I used to watch those like nonstop, those two movies, like 4 and 5 all the time. Loved Halloween. And yes, I don't know why. I guess that's why I'm all messed up, Brian. Brian's very shocked I watched it as a kid, yeah. But so like I have a connection to this franchise. I even like the first Rob Zombie one. It's a guilty pleasure. I like it. I enjoy it. The second one is trash. And then we get to 2018. Amazing. Best one, other than the first one, best Halloween movie since the first one. Seems like a little bit of cheesiness in that one, but seems like they were getting back on track. Very excited for Halloween Kills. Yeah. Very excited. And that movie is a freaking dumpster fire. I can admit, like, even if it's a franchise that I love, is trash, it is straight trash. Like, I couldn't believe I was watching it, to be honest.
Yeah. Awful. Absolutely awful. Just stupid characters doing stupid things, a lot of bad dialogue. Jamie Lee Curtis, who was great, but I mean, she spends the whole movie in a hospital bed in the hospital. Stupid angry mob thing, which I don't know if that's supposed to be a metaphor for
they're trying mentality. To say like, yeah, mob mentality and how like the reaction to like a situation can be worse than the situation itself type of thing,
Sure. And okay, fine. But everyone is so dumb.
They're so dumb. And
Judy Greer's like, that's not him. And they're all just, get him.
I know.
She's like, that's not him.
Look, I don't ever want to say a bad thing about Anthony Michael Hall. I love Anthony Michael Hall. He's a legend.
He sucks now.
Well, he's not acting regularly.
No.
Like, it's not even like he was whatever. Like, it was the character and the way he was written.
Yeah, no.
He's like, bro, first, you're going after Michael Myers with a bat?
Right.
Like, that is so stupid.
It is,
with a bat.
When there's 30 people, it should be fine. But
also, all right, this is the dumbest thing in the world. We could literally talk about this movie for 2 hours because we could say so many negative things about it. But I want to ask you, what is the dumbest thing to you? This is the dumbest thing to me.
Okay.
When they finally get him in a vulnerable position, they track him out to the alley. You have like 50 people around him. At least, right? It was like 50 people, 30 to 50 people. And then, like, first of all, only like 2 of them have a gun. They should all have guns.
Well,
and just keep shooting at him in a pile like 100 times.
100%.
But except they all have like bats and knives or whatever. And then like he gets up and just like slices and dices them all. And which is like, I don't doubt his ability to do that. I'm just so annoyed that the people are so dumb.
Well, the people are dumb. Dumb movie. I said he has Wolverine healing powers.
Oh, he has to, right?
He killed all those firefighters somehow. So he's been on fire. He got shot 10. Like, he starts the movie off burning in a fire. After the end of the last one, where he got shot like 3 times, like they shot his fingers. Jamie Lee Curtis shot his fingers off. Judy Greer shot him. They stabbed him. Fell down in that fire. He's burning. He comes out of the fire, kills all the firemen. Like you said, yeah, someone shot him like 10 times, point blank, and he just keeps fighting. Judy Greer stabbed him with that pitchfork, and then people would stab him with something, and it like Judy Greer stabbed him with the pitchfork, and then just put it down. And I'm like,
I know. See, I would just like keep stabbing him, and like, so she had to draw him out so the mob could get him, right? She could have just kept stabbing him, like stab him in the head with the pitchfork through his skull. And like, what? I don't like. All right, I get it.
She's dead,
the cliche of horror movie dumb people, right? But it's like, I feel like this franchise reached a point where like, okay, they're trying to do something like respectable with it, right?
Oh, yeah.
With the first one. Like, not I'm talking about 2018 version, right?
Yeah.
So, and then it's like it goes from like, okay, that is like the most, down to earth Halloween we've gotten since the first one, and then they just go completely opposite end of the spectrum with Halloween Kills. Like, just I couldn't believe it.
It's such a, it's so silly. I did like how they brought back a bunch of the people from the original.
No, that was cool. Like, and the characters, how he's Tommy Doyle. He's the boy that she was babysitting, and they have the girl that was the little girl grown up, and all those characters from the first movie, and then even the nurse that survives the very beginning of the original one was there, but he kills them all. So basically, he got to kill everybody that survived that night.
Which
he got to kill them again.
It's like, what do you want? Like, apparently, I don't know. We'll talk about it another time. Like,
well, what's his motivation, right?
Like, what is it that you?
Well, he just wants to stare in the window of his sister's bedroom and look at himself. But he's looking at himself. Okay. Is there anything, other stupid things you want to talk about this movie? And we'll talk about Judy Greer's death after that.
Nah, that's all stupid.
Yeah. So one of my most anticipated movies was...
They went way too far with the brutality in this one, but also too, which, like, they made him like he just stabs a person, and then, but this one, like the couple, like the one old couple, like he gets all the knives out of their kitchen and keeps stabbing the guy.
Yeah,
just like,
but what? Okay, here's one thing I want to talk about. Unless I'm mistaken, I could be wrong. I could get a whole bunch of people showing me stuff where I was wrong. But does Michael Myers ever like make art out of the bodies or place them in certain ways and like decorate them?
No.
Has he ever done that?
Not that I recall. Like
he didn't do it in the original Halloween.
Send them up and
some people like they put him he hung someone in the closet in the first one, right? But like that wasn't like a decoration.
No, he just happened to stab him when they stuck, or like you say, he hung right.
Like he wasn't a decoration. It was more to like shock anyone. I think he was trying to like, if somebody comes in here, tries to hide in here, they're gonna get hit by the dead body or whatever. But like
maybe, I thought
he was like making art because you see I thought the Big John Little John thing was funny actually. They were actually funny. It was like to the point where it's kind of dumb, but it's funny dumb. Anyways, they show a photo of that couple with one of them's laying on the head of the lap, laying his head on the lap of the other one. But Michael Myers poses them in the opposite way, where the other guy is laying on the other guy's lap. And I'm like, why?
Exactly. Like he took the time to do that. Like he would just kill someone and then move on. He didn't do all that.
Like I thought he just kills people and leaves them. Like, I don't know, but and because he like I can't imagine him. Like I can't imagine seeing the footage of, because they didn't show it, right, of him dragging the bodies in the park and like putting them on the little carousel thing, putting the masks over their head. Like, can they just show us that footage to even add more to the dumb? Like, exactly. Might as well.
But then you have to show him, because we don't see him doing anything but just lumbering around. So we wouldn't really see him actually doing stuff. So it's hard to, I don't know. It's weird.
I want a retelling of this movie where we're in Michael's head the whole time and what he's thinking. That's what I want.
Well, see, that's the thing. We don't know. We don't know. Maybe, and that all that said, like I said, I'm not 100% sure that Judy Greer is dead, but I do want to see how this ends.
No, that's what I was going to ask you. I was going to ask you, okay, you don't think she's dead. Why? I get it. The angling of the shots and like the way they shot it, it didn't show like knife penetrating her organs. Like he was like slashing her, but they did show her on the floor with like dead eyes,
Yeah, sure. And yeah, but he never dies. So why? I mean, why? I don't know. Like, sure, there's a reason that she could live too, but and she is in that room. That I guess is his sister's room, I guess, or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I hated this, but I do want to see where this.
I was going to ask you, like, is it so bad to where like I don't even want to see the next one? Okay, I think I know the answer. It's worthy. It's bad enough for someone to not want to see the next one, but you want to see the next one.
I'm a completist. I want to see how the stories end. So yeah,
I know what you mean.
I just want to see where this new trilogy ends. I want it to be the end. This is another one of those franchises. It needs to stop. In my opinion, it's stop.
Like we'll get another Halloween movie someday. It's just they're going to keep rebooting everything.
They'll always, exactly,
forever. But like end this story and then don't make another one for like 10 years at least. So we'll see. But yeah, honestly, it's one of my biggest disappointments of the year. It was up there when we made our most anticipated. I had it at like number 11 or 12, and along with Mortal Kombat, one of my biggest disappointments of the year.
That's right. Yeah.
So we spent a lot of time talking about Eternals on Apocalypse Now, and probably like Rachel, Star Drew, and Brian already know our thoughts, but
sure.
I want to see, have your thoughts changed? Is there anything specific you wanted to bring up? And where does it land on the MCU for you in this moment?
Well, that it's somewhere in the middle.
Yeah.
I don't think I've done any of that since we did our rankings before Infinity War came out. But
I'm working on my MCU rankings. Like
I gotta do that again.
I know me, Brian, and Jake use this thing called, what's it called? Something box.
Oh, Letterboxd.
It's like is it Letterboxd? Yeah, Letterboxd. So. We use that for rankings, and I'm actually working on my MCU rankings on there. But I agree, it's middle of the pack. It's like I think it's yeah. I mean, it's better than the bad Marvel movies.
Yeah,
but it's not like up there with
terrible
the tippy top.
I don't even think it's bad at all.
No, it's not bad at all.
Yeah,
it's
pretty good. It's just.
Did you like Guardians 2?
No, that's my least. That's at the bottom of my Marvel list.
Oh, really? Okay, so all right, so that's not a good example then. What's in the middle of the pack for you? Like Doctor Strange?
I love Doctor Strange. No, I think I'd have that a little higher. But maybe that's tough to say because.
Yeah, I agree that a lot of people put Iron Man 2 at the bottom of their list. It's definitely better than Iron Man 2 for me.
Yeah, it is definitely.
It's better than Guardians 2, which I actually like Guardians 2, but I think it's better than Guardians 2.
Sure.
It's definitely solid middle of the pack, but I think that people are I think it's very different from an MCU film that we're used to. And I think
I don't know about that.
I think it is. And I think people are just caught off guard by that. And I think that's a good thing that it's different.
I think it looks different, but I think it's more. I think it's a little more MCU. What people say formula.
Maybe that's what I mean by it looks different. Maybe people aren't weren't expecting the different look.
Sure, yeah, because there's more. It's obviously the super diverse cast and the settings are all around the world, and there's no. One of the things I said about it when Gio and I talked about it was like, I may have mentioned this on Apocalypse Now, but it's not set in any big city. There's no crowds of people. Like there's no that sense of because everything's set in New York or Ant-Man being like in San Francisco.
That's a good point. Yeah,
Wakanda, where there's millions of people there. It's not like it's everything's out in the middle of nowhere somewhere. Okay, Rachel, that's a good point. Okay, so Age of Ultron. Age of Ultron is kind of middle.
Well, yeah, Rachel said Eternals is solidly in the middle of the pack for me overall, but Icarus is firmly in my list of favorite characters. What is up with you with flying men who shoot lasers out of their eyes, Rachel? That's your type. No, but I loved Icarus. I thought he was really good.
He was good. Who is he again?
Yeah, maybe that's where I draw the line because I actually love Age of Ultron. Personally, I love that movie, and every time I watch it, it gets better. But so I think I don't think it's. I think it's under Age of Ultron for me, but better than Guardians 2. So that's kind of where I think that's kind of what Rachel was saying in between the two.
Let me amend that. I think they're kind of even actually for Age of Ultron because there's a lot of stuff I really love in Age of Ultron. Overall, I just kind of think it's just okay, but there is stuff in it that I really do love.
Do you watch it oftenly? Oftenly? Do you watch it often?
I actually just watched it like in full about maybe about a month and a half ago.
To me, I think it's underrated, man. Honestly.
Yeah. There's some questionable dialogue for me, and I still think it was well. I don't know. Just too much Joss Whedon-ness. Too much. Like he cranked it up in this one, and I don't really think.
No, he did, and I mean, we know all his off-screen antics and all that stuff, and I mean, I don't take that into the. Yeah, I don't take that into the movie when I watch it. Yeah,
same. Yeah, aside from all that aside, I don't. Yeah. But I think Stardew pretty even.
No, Stardew to me, it's at the top for me. It's like number 3 for me.
Still.
So
okay.
Yeah.
I think we've gotten so much good stuff since then. I would have moved down for me, Avengers.
Yeah.
Because
I get it.
I don't know. I don't know. I watched
it's
both
like
back to back.
It's simple compared to some of these other movies.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, yeah. And at the time, obviously, the context at the time, not just in the MCU, but in real life, we hadn't seen that before. So
we'll have to do like a rankings where we just talk them all in depth. But like I don't know if Rachel and Stardew know this, but like I'm a Infinity War guy, then I'm a Thor Ragnarok guy. So I have Infinity War number 1, and then I have Ragnarok number 2. And I might have Avengers number 3. I'll have to go back and look, but
yeah, I'm the same. I think, I'm full Infinity War. Like that just doesn't get a whole lot better.
I never from beginning to end. I'm basically never bored watching. And honestly, I used to not like the Wanda and Vision scenes in Infinity War, but now that I've seen WandaVision, I love those scenes. From beginning to end. Like Infinity War, it's just a nonstop thrill ride, and I love it. And it's like, it's great.
I came out of it. I remember because we saw it together, and then was coming home telling the kids about it. I took them to see it a couple days later, but I mean, I was wrecked, just emotionally, just just drained after that movie because we went through everything, and obviously the ending with the snap and everything happening. It was just very harrowing. It's so good. So I think I always had Winter Soldier at number 1. I would have moved Infinity War up just past it, but at this point in time.
Rachel says Avengers is still in the top 10 for me. Yeah, I mean, top 10 is respectable. And Stardew, I'm with Jacob. Avengers, really up there. Yeah, I'll have to look at my list again, but I just when they're fighting in New York and like. Cap's fighting on the ground, and then Iron Man comes down and shoots his beam off of Cap's shield, and they're hitting the Chitauri. That type of stuff is just, I love it. I waited my whole life for that, and it when I was watching it, even if I was watching it at home, after it came out on Blu-ray and stuff, I was getting chills. I was like, I'll never forget that.
Well, exactly. That's when I watched that, specifically that one. I always just take myself back to watching it the first time and just the excitement in the theater with everyone, and then taking the kids, they were little at the time, and taking them to see it. That was the first time I'd taken all of them to the movies, was to go see that. So they had such a great time. It was one of the best times I've ever had seeing anything, was seeing that first Avengers movie. So but
I agree with you. It's not a bad thing when the franchise ups itself every time,
that's why
it's not a bad thing. It's like, oh yeah, we all love Superman the movie, but maybe maybe Man of Steel's better just because it's
that's what I'm saying.
An improvement. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So I'm taking them to see Eternals tomorrow, so I'm going to see it again a second time.
I need to watch it again. My brother hasn't seen it, so I might take my brother.
Yeah, I'm curious. I don't know. There's just a lot of stuff we don't have to get into the story like we talked about on now, but just the stuff with the Celestials plan. I wonder if they're setting up the Celestials as the big bad. Everyone keeps saying big bad in this phase because they've clearly these versions, the movie MCU version of Celestials, they're not good at all. Like they've all been shown to be bad.
Yeah, I mean, also the Celestials, they don't think in our terms. They don't think in this one human being walking by on the sidewalk, their life is important. They don't think like that. They think in the grand scale of things, and so it's interesting. And we talked about this a little bit on the Pocketflix Now, but I'm really intrigued by Thanos and how it ties into all this because literally what he was doing was saving planets. If this is true, if what the Celestials are saying is true, then technically what Thanos was doing was saving those planets from just completely being destroyed.
Well, but he's also.
I'm not saying he's right.
He was killing billions of people.
But more people would have died eventually.
Yeah, but if they figure out a way to tie that in and say that, I wish they. I mentioned that one now. I wish they.
All right, whether they do it or not, it connects in a way. Whether they say it does or not.
But see, it connects, but it doesn't. Again, it doesn't make any sense because why didn't they try to stop him? Because that's immediately the first question I had. It took me a while to think about it when I was thinking about it a few days later. Because I didn't quite understand when I was watching the movie. I had to go. I was like, wait, what exactly? So I went back to the Wikipedia and read the synopsis, read the plot synopsis. And when I read what they did, and then I was just like, that doesn't seem right. Because then they should have been trying to stop Thanos. If they need a population to reach a certain point for them to grow or hatch or whether Celestials, then what he was doing would actively hurt that, and you'd think that they immediately would have stopped him. And that's prior to him, again, like I said, prior to him trying to get the stones, because he was doing that already. Like you said, going planet to planet doing this. So,
we don't really know what Thanos, if Thanos knew about all that. But I'm saying, let's say Thanos didn't know this, right? And I guess the Eternals didn't even know about it. So maybe he didn't know.
Well,
but I'm saying
they didn't know because they had their mind erased every time it happened.
If Thanos didn't know, either way, what he was doing was interrupting the Celestials' plans.
Yes.
So that's what I mean. That's what I mean. How it connects, because they needed a certain level of population in order to emerge from the planet, right? So he literally was delaying the destruction of these planets. But maybe unintentionally.
But then that's all reason for them to. When Kit Harington asked, "Why didn't you stop him?"
Oh, they should have. No. I'm not doubting they should have stopped him. So that's the thing.
Like, why would you tell the Eternals? No, we can't.
And I hope that's not just we didn't think about that. Because there's no excuse for that. You can't.
That's what I'm saying. That's why
that's common sense, right? And Kevin Feige knows what he's doing, so there has to be more to it. I think there's more to it.
I agree. There must be some reasons. That's why I say that I wonder if they're setting up the Celestials as as the big, the villains of this new phase.
Yeah, I mean it's hard,
on a cosmic scale.
Honestly, the MCU, I'm a little worried. The MCU is getting very complex.
Well,
I'm a little worried about that.
It may be, but if you're guys like us, we follow along. At this point, they're like, hey, we're not holding anybody's hand anymore. You got to keep up. It's
true.
10
years. That's a good point.
Movies,
yeah, you're right. You're right.
At this point, there's no more introducing or recapping, or it's like you gotta follow a storyline. Christian Harloff always said it's a TV show, so you gotta follow along if you want to be caught up.
You're right. You know what? You're right. You're not gonna watch the 30th episode of a television series when you haven't seen 5 in the middle.
Right.
You shouldn't skip them.
Yeah, they're not making these for new fans anymore. At this point, It's like McDonald's. Like McDonald's isn't marketing to new people who have never eaten McDonald's because everyone's eating McDonald's. Everybody. So
yeah,
that's
a good point.
Yeah.
All right, Keith. So I want to get your non-spoiler thoughts on Soho, but was there anything you wanted to talk about with Dune? Has anything changed for you? And I'm curious because this ties in. Are any of these movies that we're talking about today your favorite movie of the year?
Dune is number. Well,
don't forget about Many Saints.
Well, that and the Suicide Squad because I really up to that point that was my number one. I'm kind of going back and forth between Dune and the Suicide Squad for my number one. I watched them both multiple times. I've watched Dune 4 times. The time I saw it in the theater and then 3 more times on HBO Max. And I want to watch it again, to be honest, before it goes away. I'm going to probably try to watch it at least once, maybe twice more before it goes away.
Yeah, I'm either going to watch that or another movie tonight. I'm debating.
Yeah.
With myself.
Yeah. It's oh, hold on just a second. My battery is.
Well, Dune is going to leave HBO Max soon, right?
Yeah, that's why I say I got to watch it at least once.
Oh, I got to watch that because I was going to maybe watch my number one movie of the year, which is Shang-Chi. Shang-Chi is still my number one movie of the year. I love Shang-Chi so much. It's like, and I've only seen it once. So, yeah. But yes, I should watch Dune before it leaves HBO Max because then I can watch Shang-Chi as much as I want after that.
Exactly.
But yeah, I know Star asked earlier, is Shang-Chi a fall movie? I mean, I guess September's in fall, but I mean, it came out like right after we shot a Bartley and Barnes episode, so we weren't able to talk about it. But Shang-Chi's my favorite movie of the year, and I love Many Saints of Newark very, very much. I love the Suicide Squad very, very much. I love Dune. Dune is challenging Shang-Chi for my favorite movie of the year. I've only seen Dune once as well.
Right. Okay. So. Okay. Yeah. It's pretty epic. Maybe if we can get Jake on next, we'll get more into Dune. There's going to be more stuff by the time of our next episode. So I don't know. Maybe we'll do a separate spoiler review. I don't know. But I absolutely, Dune is just riveting to me. It's so good. So just beautiful. I can't wait to. I need it. Gotta read the book. Just downloaded the book on Audible. Gotta read the whole story. The character that David Bowie plays in the original is not in this movie. I think he's the prince. Yeah, or he's the nephew of Skarsgård. I forgot his name. The Harkonnen guy, Baron.
Oh, the Baron. Wait, but Dave Bautista is the nephew of him.
I think he's his nephew, or he's his other.
It's his nephew. He calls him his uncle.
Oh, no, he is. Yeah, he is. But I think that
if there's another nephew,
I think there's. I might be wrong, but I think that's the character that David Bowie played in the original. He wasn't in the 2021 movie, so which means he's going to be.
I need to audiobook Dune as well.
Yeah,
we've tried to do book club on Bartley and Barnes, but it's hard.
It is hard. Yeah.
Maybe we'll do a Dune book club.
maybe.
When are you going to start it?
The Shining's really good. I listed like the first 5 chapters of The Shining.
So, all right. So I'm always audiobooking something, always, because when I drive. So I just finished. There are 8 Dexter novels that, other than the first novel.
Oh, I didn't know that.
The 7 novels after the first novel are nothing like the TV shows. Like season 1 of Dexter and the first novel of Dexter are like almost identical, other than a few things. Right. But then after that, they just did their own thing with the show. And I audiobooked all 8 novels like in the past year.
Oh wow!
But I'm done now, so I don't have I need my next audiobook. So
interesting.
I think I'm going to do Dune.
Dune, yeah. Let's see how many. Look up. Draw up how many hours it is.
There's a lot of books, I think, and like spin-offs and things like that. All right. Well, we're not done talking Dune. Like, I still think Dune is revolutionary. I think it's I'm rooting for it to be the next big movie franchise. I'm rooting for it to be the next Lord of the Rings. So
Same.
I think it's worthy of it. Like, I think that first one was good enough to be the next movie version of like an epic franchise.
I agree. It was 21 hours on Audible.
And Rachel, before you kill me, no, it's not better than Fellowship of the Ring. No, it's not. But I'm just saying, like, we haven't had anything even come close to like being the next big franchise. It's
not, but it's up as a book. Well, you read them. Those books are tough. I don't know.
I'm saying movie to movie. Like, I don't think it's better than Fellowship of the Ring. Well, I haven't read the Dune book. It's not better than Fellowship of the Ring. Get out of here. Get out of here.
No, it's not. It's close.
Is Dune going to get nominated for Best Picture?
That's a good question.
It could.
I think it definitely will. I think it will. Arrival was nominated for Best Picture, so this is.
I will say though, Rachel, have you ever audiobooked the Lord of the Rings books? It's a lot easier.
I never thought
for both of you. Actually, it's a lot easier. Trust me. And Tom Bombadil. You get a lot of Tom. What is that? His name?
The reader.
The guy who's not in. No, the guy who's not in the movies from the Lord of the Rings books.
Yeah, that's right. Oh, I forgot.
I think it's Tom Bombadil.
Yes.
Rachel will correct me. Well, I listen to audiobooks when I drive, Rachel, so you can't fall asleep during when you're driving. Yeah, Tom Bombadil. There's like a whole section of the book that's about him. But yeah, I gotta do Dune, I think.
Dune's it's 21 hours. So that'll be about a week.
Just take work off for a day and don't sleep and just listen to the whole thing. Just like sit there in bed staring at the ceiling. Listening to it.
Got that. And I got Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, which I'd never actually read. Never read all of it. So, all
right, Keith. I want to hear your thoughts on Last Night in Soho. I haven't watched it. I've been like every day. I'm like, okay, can I make this Showtime? Like, I'm not going to make that Showtime. I've been like eyeing Showtimes. I need to watch it, especially because Anya Taylor-Joy.
Yeah, absolutely. It's got Jacob written all over it. Absolutely.
Does it? Oh my God!
This is full Jacob movie, man. You will love this movie.
Edgar Wright made it for me. Well, watch. It's like sometimes I have these obscure movies that end up being my number ones of the year. Like Gone Girl was my number one of the year when it came out. Like over Guardians of the Galaxy, over Winter Soldier, and like I've now that you say that, I have a feeling like Soho could end up doing something like that.
Star Drew, I love Harry Potter. Dune's better than Harry Potter, and I love Harry Potter. I love it. Deathly Hallows Part 1 is awesome. I think it's the best Harry Potter movie, and I think Dune is better than definitely better. But it's obviously I can't spoil. But I'm super curious to get your thoughts on this movie.
Oh, and I love what's her name? Something McKenzie, the one from Jojo Rabbit. Oh my goodness, she is great.
She's pretty great in this movie.
Thomasin McKenzie.
Yeah. She's got a very tiny high pitched voice. Like but she's.
That's really how she talks, though. Even in Jojo Rabbit, she talks like that. Yeah, but hey, and your dude's in this movie, right?
Matt Smith.
Yeah,
Matt Smith was great, man. It's my guy. Yeah, I love Matt Smith, man. Then this movie is so. Oh well, I can't say, but Edgar Wright is he's probably my second or third favorite director. He's right up there. Tarantino, who obviously is, I keep him on a different list. Tarantino or Scorsese, but I look at guys like Denis Villeneuve, obviously, who talk about with Dune and all the Sicario and everything else. Edgar Wright's right there. So I think the filmmaking is great.
I wish James Mangold directed more movies. Like,
Mangold's up there too.
He needs to he's different. He's more like your Edgar Wright and Tarantino and Scorsese, even like they're more auteurs. Like they make their own projects, and even Villeneuve in a way, they kind of like they're very and Mangold kind of like is kind of mainstream and almost.
He's more of a common man director,
but he's so good.
But his movies are great, though. He's like the best of that group. Like I mean, 310 to Yuma is one of the best movies.
I love 310 to
20
Yuma.
year, yeah, it's spectacular. And obviously, Logan. What can you say? But
and Ford v like I don't like. I'm not a big Ford v Ferrari guy, but I acknowledge it's a great freaking movie.
Oh my god!
And like Jake, that's his. He says that's the best James Mangold film. To me, it's Logan, but
I have to think about that.
But dude, even like I wouldn't. If you said 310 to Yuma's your favorite James Mangold film, I would be like, oh my god, yes, it's amazing.
I think it might be.
But dude, Christian Bale, like
Ferraris, in both of those, both those movies, it's spectacular. But Last Night in Soho is it. Obviously, there's some supernatural stuff, but it's a little bit different than what I thought. And there's
because there's like time travel. Don't ruin it for me. I'm not looking at your face.
I can't say, but dude, it's different than what.
All right, screw it. I'm going to watch this movie this weekend. Like I have to.
I think you should. I
have to.
You should. I almost say we should just shoot a separate review video because I really want to hear what you think if you do go see it.
Yeah, and honestly, I was thinking about this, Keith. We should just do like reviews, just a review on this channel. Like we should start doing like how Christian Harloff and what's his name? Comedian, the guy we saw. And
Mark Ellis.
Yeah, Mark Ellis. Christian Harloff and Mark Ellis, brain fart. How they used to do like their Schmoes Know like reviews like of every movie. We should just do that.
I would absolutely love that. Yeah.
And we can do like 10-minute reviews on the channel, or if it's like a bigger movie, we could do spoiler discussions. Mm-hmm. Well, let's start doing that.
I think we should. I think we absolutely should. We can start with this one because it's different than what you think. The performances are all great. Obviously, the filmmaking is great cinematography. The music is, as with every Edgar Wright movie, like the music is spot on. It's right there with Baby Driver. I think Star Drew said it's got the jazz noir movie. 100% correct on that. The jazz scene and the music from the time, it's really good. I got to get the soundtrack because it's actually very, and the score.
Wow. Yeah. I'll check it out ASAP, and we'll shoot like a 15 to 20-minute review, and then we'll start doing that too. We'll start like every movie that we both see, we'll just shoot a review.
Yeah, totally.
And we'll get our boy Jake to cook us up a thumbnail.
We're good. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, let's do it. So, but no, I really enjoyed this. Like I said, it wound up. I was kind of like, wait, what's going on? But it's pretty riveting to the end. It is very. Remember we were telling Brian, it's pretty. I don't want to say.
You said it's gory, like too much for bloody. Brian, maybe.
Yeah, he like it.
Dude, I wish I would have went with you that night, to see it, but I made plans to take my niece out trick or treating or whatever, but it was. Okay. I really wanted to. I was like, no, why is it going on the same night? But it's all good. I'll check it out.
It's pretty bloody, but it's very good. It's very good.
So try to check out Last Night in Soho if you can, Rachel and Star Drew, and you'll probably see us do a spoiler review. And anybody else watching, we'll put up a spoiler review of that soon. And I know Jake has been looking forward to that movie as well. Maybe we can get him on for that. We'll see what we can do.
Yes.
All right, so we'll end our show here with our homework assignments. Now, Keith and I maybe did half our homework.
We dropped the ball here. Yeah.
We're terrible. But look, all right, so you challenged me to a documentary, Ready or Not, the 96 draft. It aired on NBA TV, which was kind of cool because I have YouTube TV, right?
Right.
Anything that ever airs on TV, you can just watch it. Like it's basically already TiVo'd for you.
That's cool. Okay.
So I could just pull it up and play it. And I watched the first half.
Cool.
And how did this even miss my radar? I'm so upset because first of all, I'm a Lakers fan and Kobe Bryant is one of my favorite athletes of all time, and still not over Kobe Bryant. Honestly, I'm still like hurts to think about it, but I know all the names. I knew all the names that were in this draft class, but like you don't really think about it until they sit here and put it in your face.
Yep.
There were so many names in this draft class. I mean, Ray Allen, Stephon Marbury, obviously Allen Iverson, and all the drama, like how Ray Allen was drafted and then traded, and he was drafted by teams that he didn't even meet with, and it's
stuff I didn't even know.
It's crazy. And that's why I like this, because look, I know the results of this draft. I don't know all the ins and outs of it, and it's fascinating. So, Keith, I watched part 1 this morning, and that is a great recommendation for me. I'm going to finish part 2. I mean, next Bartley and Barnes, we can touch base on part 2, and maybe you can give me your full review on the movie that I challenged you to. But I'm okay also with new homework assignments this episode too, if you have one. But great recommendation, Keith. I'm tomorrow morning, because I'm gonna watch probably Dune tonight. But tomorrow morning when I wake up, I'm gonna watch part 2 of this documentary. I can't wait.
Good. Yeah, totally. Yeah, I think best draft ever, in my opinion. I know people like to go to.
He wanted to go to the Celtics, he was saying, and then he thought the Celtics might be able to draft him,
right?
Which is crazy.
I know, right? Yeah,
Gio, you must have you've seen this documentary, or about how they were gonna they could have drafted Ray Allen in a way.
Yeah.
Hey, they won a title with Ray Allen, so just be happy. Like some players get drafted somewhere, they never win a title. They won a title with Ray Allen. So
I didn't know, and super quick because my battery's dying, and we do have to end the show. But I never heard any of that. I did not know until watching that Ray Allen.
Well, that's what's great about it. Like, we know Kobe Bryant, like where he ended up, like he was drafted by, was it the Hornets, right? And then traded.
By the Hornets,
but there's so much more. There's so much more about it. I don't know if they're overplaying this to try to make Jerry West look like a genius. Like, I have a feeling maybe they're overplaying it a little bit, how he desperately wanted Kobe Bryant.
But that's always been, I've always heard that.
But
he loved Kobe.
That's great. Like that. He wanted him.
Because Jerry West was a super competitive guy, just like that. So he always loved him.
First of all of these guys carried themselves very well during this time. They all were like super smart and they were very like well spoken and like presentable. They were all great.
I hadn't seen Walker in years, so it's cool to see him.
You could tell. Hearing Kobe talk during that footage, he was like on a hyper level of intelligence when he was like 17 or going on 18. He was on a super high level intelligence as a 17-year-old boy.
That's what I mean when I say, because I always heard that about Jerry West, how much he loved him, and you could tell that. You could tell he was different, and I'm sure in the meetings that they had with him, he could tell like there's something different about this kid.
He seemed like the way he talked seemed like when he talked when he was 35. He was
absolutely,
when he talked about his decision to go to college or to go to the pros right away, it was so calculated. He was like, and he talked about he was like, I'm going to evaluate the pros and cons. He's like, I'm going to take a couple days, think about this, and I'm just like. That is crazy. Like he was always like that, which is awesome.
Yeah. So it's a spectacular story. I love the way, like I said, the Nets were thinking about taking him, but they were like all the teams that were thinking about taking him, but he's a high school kid. We don't know.
And then the Timberwolves, they were like, we don't want to draft 2 high school kids. Well, you should have.
Yeah, exactly. Which is crazy. And
Garnett, and they could have had Garnett and Kobe on the same team.
And Garnett just revealed, and I think it's in a GQ or Esquire, one of the an article that just came out, that he was gonna go sign with the Lakers. He wanted to sign with the Lakers, but Kobe was out of the country and didn't get back to him. And the Celtics made the deal first. Like he wanted to win. Wow. When he was a free agent, that was the deal. He wanted to go play with Kobe and the Lakers.
That's crazy. Star Drew, have we seen Coach Carter? I've seen Coach Carter. It's okay.
Yeah. Give me just like 10 seconds. I gotta run and do something real quick. Give me just 10 seconds. I'll be right back. Sorry.
Alrighty. Gio, did you watch the Celtic Pride with Dan Aykroyd comedy kidnap movie? Oh, what? Is that like a Celtic related movie? That's interesting. Anyways, real quick, while Keith is away, if anybody's watching this, I'm doing, if you're a Dexter fan, I'm doing Dexter New Blood reviews on this YouTube channel. So even if you're not a Dexter fan, go watch Dexter, catch up, and come watch my reviews.
How are you feeling about it so far?
Absolutely love it. It's
okay.
Like, so you've seen episodes of Dexter, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Like you said, you used to watch it and you stopped.
I was in and out for a while. I think maybe season 4 I kind of tailed off because I had some good friends that loved it. So I would watch episodes.
So basically, like, so he basically, there's a voiceover where he's like talking to the viewer, right?
Yes. Yeah.
And so like when he's having a conversation with somebody and they say something stupid and then like he like talks to the audience, right?
Yeah.
So like this is 10 years later. He's like in hiding in a snow, like small town where it's just like snowy all year long. And he's hiding. So like the identity of the original series was like his voiceover, right?
Okay.
This show starts, he's in hiding. He's just like a hermit, right? But he knows everybody in town because it's a small town. There's no voiceover throughout the whole like first half of the episode. Like he's just living life.
Okay.
He hasn't killed anybody in 10 years, which is a spoiler, I guess. But the case for what I'm telling you applies to this.
Yeah.
The second he gets into a situation where like he has to kill again, the voiceover comes back like 40 minutes in the episode, and it's like it's been a long time. Okay. And like do you know his voice? The voiceover is very different from the way he speaks. It's like a dark, like creepy voice, and it's like it's been a long time. And I'm like, oh my god, this is awesome. So it's pretty cool.
That's crazy. Okay, is there? And I don't mind being spoiled about this, but I mean, any reference to his kid that he?
Yeah. So in the trailer, they showed somebody's like in his cabin and he's like walking up on them. And yes, inner monologue is the correct term. Thank you, Star Drew. And he's like, what the hell are you doing in my house? And he's like, are you Dexter Morgan? He's like, I'm Harrison, your son. So, and we see Harrison in the first episode. Yeah, thank you for that, Star Drew. That inner monologue is the thing. Yeah, Rachel. I mean, Dexter's not for everybody, I will say. It's I think a lot of people have a hard time wrapping their head around like following a serial killer. So that's kind of tough, but the way they present it in the show, it's like it's okay. Like if you don't know, he only kills bad people. Well, he only kills other killers. He only kills murderers. And it looks like we lost Keith. But anyways, Dexter only kills murderers. And he basically has to find proof that they're a killer first before he kills them. And he has an undeniable urge to kill. And so I recommend the show because it's so great, but it's not for everybody. And then when they bring the show back in Dexter New Blood, it like if you're a fan of the original series, it's like it's very, very satisfying as a fan. But yeah, I don't know what happened to Keith. His internet must have died out, or he may have lost connection here. Let's see if we can get him back for a second, real quick. There he is. What up, man? Okay, there we go. All right, Keith. So real quick, I challenged you to watch a movie called Belle, starring Gugu and Bathara. You said you haven't finished it yet, which is okay, but because I didn't finish the documentary. But the main reason why I challenged you to this movie is because I think Gugu and Bathara is a freaking rock star, and I wanted to just give you an example of how great she is.
She is.
So, what did you think about your short stint with, or how far did you get, and what did you think so far?
Maybe at less than, I'd say maybe 20-ish minutes.
Okay.
And I rented it when I was last week when I was on vacation, but I was watching it at night, and of course I fell asleep, and then it expired before I can get back to it. So, but yeah, she is great. She's very young. She's super young. I don't even know what I was going to look
in that movie. In that movie, she is. But
yeah.
So the first thing I ever saw her in was in Concussion with Will Smith.
Yeah, right.
And then like I took a British film class, and my professor showed us Belle.
Okay.
And I was like, wait a minute, is this the girl from Concussion? And I was like, oh my goodness, she's wonderful.
Yeah.
Like she's awesome. And I just think she's a great actress. And she's been in stuff. She's been in bad stuff like Cloverfield Paradox or whatever it was called, or whatever that movie was called. But then she's like in Loki. She's great in Loki.
Right.
Love her in Loki.
She is. She absolutely is. Yeah, but this is
so I know you didn't finish the movie, but you agree that she's awesome.
a lot of heavyweight, a lot of British heavyweights in here, and this fits right in with all the British stuff my mom watches on TV on PBS, all the period piece stuff.
I thought it was intriguing that like she's obviously part African American, right? And she's in this environment. Yeah.
She's mixed race. Which I think she is in. I'm assuming she is in real life. She kind of looks. I say this because my daughter. She looks like my daughters. So
yeah, no, I think she is. Yeah.
Yeah. So this type of story that like it's the fact that because she's dark, like everything that you could just I can see where the movie's going. I'm definitely curious to watch the rest. Because I would imagine the hurdles of trying to live in this society at that time.
Yeah, it's actually like there's like a bigger storyline too of like a court case going on and all this stuff. So it gets interesting. And like, of course, during this time, all the women her age are trying to find a husband. So it's like it plays into all that. Which it's interesting. I just thought it was a delightful movie when I watched it.
Yeah. And she's beautiful. Like even at that time, if you thought like, I don't know, like I would imagine you would look at her and be like, nah. But man, maybe I don't know. There's some people might. I don't know.
Oh, during that time, I mean, that one guy. There's a guy that falls in love with her in the movie.
Yeah.
But yeah, she's. I mean, I'm not going to deny another reason why I like her. She's absolutely gorgeous. But
she is. She really is. Yeah. So. But that's good. She's good. Like I said, she looks super young. And I just was thinking about because I think you're right. I think Concussion is probably the only thing, and the Cloverfield movie, probably.
Because now she's in her 40s. She's in her 40s now, but I don't know when
she's
Belle.
My age, right? Yeah.
I don't know when Belle came out. Belle came out in 2013, so I think she just looks young. To be honest,
she looks super young. Yeah,
because she was like 30 when Belle came out.
Right, which is crazy. Yeah, so she's close to my age, which is nuts. But she's
and I just think it's cool. Like we just learned about her recently. Like Concussion, like I said, but like she was starring in a movie before that.
Right. 2013. Yeah, right. That's 8 years ago. So yeah.
All right, Keith. Do you have a new assignment for me? I have something in mind for you. Unless we want to just finish these and go from there next time.
I actually do. It's another show. It's another series, and also part of the reason why I didn't finish this because I started watching this show.
Okay, what's up?
I banged through all of it in one day.
Oh my goodness.
Because they're only 30-minute episodes, which is 30 to 35-minute episodes, which is great. But it is
Okay.
a Hulu series. I don't know if you've seen it or not, but so I know our rule is the first 2 episodes. So only murders in the building.
No, I haven't seen it, but I know it. I know it.
Okay. Watch the first 2 episodes.
Interesting. Because I have Hulu and I go to Hulu a lot, and I always see the ad for it.
Yes.
Never watched it.
It's so good. It is so good. It's really, really funny. Steve Martin and Martin Short, 2 people that I grew up watching. Selena Gomez. Good. She's very good. There's a weird thing going on with her, but I think there might be a reason for it. But yeah. And like I said, the episodes are 30. Most of them are about 30 minutes. So
this is why I love this, because I was actually intrigued. Like, I was interested in that series, but I was like, whatever. I have so much other stuff to watch, but now I have to.
Oh, watch it. Yeah, I think it's 10 episodes. Apparently they were doing it releasing it weekly. I think I watched it. It had just ended, so I like I said, I was able to watch the whole thing in one day, and it's yeah. I think you'll like it, but yeah, just give the first 2 episodes a shot and see where we go from there. We still got to talk about when we get a chance. We still got to talk about Mayor of Easttown. I mean, we kind of talked about it, but
we didn't do like a full in-depth spoiler. Okay, yeah. Real quick on that. So, you know how Dexter was in Miami, like in the show, right? So now in my review of Dexter New Blood episode 1, I said the town that he's in is just like the town for Mayor of Easttown.
Oh, wow. Okay.
It's just like that, but now Dexter's in that environment. It's crazy.
Right. Oh my gosh. Yeah,
all right, Keith. So there's 2 movies that I noticed you haven't seen, and I'm going to give you the choice because there's one that I really want you to watch, but I don't know if you really want to watch it that much. But there's one that I want you to watch, but that I do know you want to watch. So I'll give you the choice here. So there's one movie, and we can keep this going, and this is Strangers on a Train. We can do another Alfred Hitchcock movie, Strangers on a Train, and I have a feeling you're going to choose that. But I also know you haven't seen The Visit by M. Night Shyamalan. Is that correct?
Ooh, no, I have not.
Okay. So
I don't want to watch that one.
Okay. I'll let you choose. Maybe the deciding factor is whichever one's free on a streaming service that you already have.
Maybe.
So those are your choices. At least one of those movies by the next time we do Bartley and Barnes.
I think I'm going to do The Visit. I do want to.
Yeah. All right. Let's do The Visit because I love The Visit. And look, it's weird because I've heard like The Visit was the start of M. Night Shyamalan's comeback, right?
Yeah.
And then
it's over now.
So some people don't like it, but some people love it like me.
Yeah.
So I'm curious.
Yeah. All right.
But all right, that'll do it. And that'll do it for this episode of Bartley and Barnes. Thank you, everybody, for joining. We really appreciate you. I know this is kind of a different kind of show, but hey, this is what we do when we're in person. We just we can sit here and have this same conversation in person. So basically get an insight into our lives. But also, we are going to start doing spoiler discussion reviews on Bartley and Barnes. We're going to do Last Night in Soho and go from there. Every movie that we both see, we'll just do a review for. I don't know what's stopping us from doing that. Shouldn't be anything. Thank you, Gio, for our news correspondent there. We really appreciate you, man. Keith, any last words or anything you want to say to the audience before we go?
No, that was it. Thank you, Star Drew, Rachel, of course, Gio, as we mentioned already. If you're watching this on replay, thank you. Leave a like, share, tell your friends that like movies. Thanks everyone for watching.